People think cruelty lives in fists or screams, but I learned it hides best in words typed late at night. The first time I wrote about him, I didn't expect the post to blow up. It was supposed to be a joke. A way to poke at the golden boy who made the whole school swoon. Ethan Cole. Star quarterback. All-American smile. He walked through the hallways of our high school like he owned the air, and people let him. Teachers forgave his late homework. Girls carried his books. Boys wanted to be him. I wanted none of that. I wanted him humbled, cracked open, to see if there was something real under all that shine. So, under a fake username, I began writing. Anonymous posts on the school forum. Small barbs, half-truths, little exaggerations of his arrogance. I didn't expect the comments to explode with laughter and agreement. Overnight, my words became gospel. People loved watching the golden boy stumble, even just in the virtual space. The thing is, Ethan started noticing. He would slam his locker a little harder. His smile would flicker when someone mentioned the posts. And once, I saw him ball his fists like he wanted to punch a ghost. That ghost was me. The irony? In person, I played the opposite role. Loyal supporter. I sat in the bleachers, cheering at his games. I laughed at his stupid jokes in chemistry class. I became his almost friend, the quiet guy at the edge of his circle, never too close, never too far. To Ethan, I was harmless, maybe even trustworthy. To everyone else online, I was his shadow, pulling him down piece by piece. But the closer I got to him in real life, the harder it was to keep the two versions of me apart. Because Ethan wasn't just a golden boy who was human. I saw the way he pinched the bridge of his nose after practice when no one was watching, the way his shoulders sagged under pressure he never asked for. And against every piece of logic, I started to feel guilty. Worse, I started to care. One night after a game, while the bleachers were still buzzing with victory, Ethan found me. He was sweaty, his jersey sticking to him, his grin stretched wide. He slapped my shoulder like we'd been friends forever. "You're always here," he said, almost surprised. "Thanks, man. Means more than you think." It was supposed to be a casual comment, but it landed like a stone in my chest. Because if he ever found out, it would destroy him. The posts kept coming, though, because I couldn't stop. They were addictive. My secret power. My way of controlling the untouchable Ethan Cole. Every word was a mix of admiration and envy, affection and spite. Maybe I didn't want to tear him down. Maybe I just wanted him to notice me. And he did. Slowly, Ethan began searching the crowd for me, as if my face anchored him in the storm of attention. He started sitting next to me at lunch, asking my opinion on plays, even joking with me in a way that felt private. One afternoon, he leaned close, his shoulder brushing mine, and whispered, "Sometimes, I feel like you're the only one not expecting me to be perfect." If only he knew. The guilt became unbearable, but I couldn't tell him. Not when his guard was finally dropping. Not when the perfect boy let me glimpse the fractures in his armor. I was the one who created some of those fractures. I was the ghost clawing at him from behind the screen, and he was thanking me for being steady. It was twisted. It was wrong. And yet he couldn't stay away. The breaking point came a week before homecoming. Another post of mine went viral, mocking the way Ethan smiled for cameras, calling it plastic and forced. It wasn't meant to sting, but it did. I knew it because he didn't show up to lunch. I knew it because he skipped practice. I knew it because I saw him sitting alone in his car after school, hands gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing holding him together. For the first time, I wanted to delete everything. But the internet doesn't delete pain. It just archives it. That night, Ethan messaged me. Not my fake account. My real one. "You around?" he asked. "Yeah." I typed back, my stomach twisting. "Can we talk?" I should have said no. I should have closed the laptop and buried the secret forever. Instead, I told him to meet me at the library. The library at night was different, quiet, eerie. Like all the secrets of the world were waiting between the shelves. I arrived first, pacing, my heart thudding too loud. When Ethan walked in, he wasn't the golden boy. His hair was messy, his sweatshirt rumpled, and his eyes looked tired. You ever feel like everyone's laughing at you, but you don't know why? he asked, his voice low. The words hit like knives. I swallowed hard. Yeah, I whispered, lying through my teeth. He stepped closer. Close enough that I could smell the faint mix of sweat and cologne. Close enough that I could see the tremble in his jaw. I don't get it, he said. I try so damn hard, and it's like people want me to fail. Sometimes I think, maybe I don't deserve any of it. Something inside me cracked. Because in that moment, Ethan wasn't a target. He wasn't the golden boy. He was just a boy. A boy who didn't know that the very person he leaned on was the one pulling strings in the dark. My throat closed. I wanted to confess. I wanted to tell him everything, even if it meant watching his face break in front of me. But then looked at me. Really looked. You're different, Ethan said softly. With you, I feel like I can breathe. And instead of telling him the truth, I leaned into the lie. I leaned into the lie, and it tasted like poison. Every second I spent near him was a second borrowed from the truth. A truth sharp enough to gut us both. But how do you look into someone's eyes blue and breaking, like the ocean after a storm, and tell them you're the reason for their pain? Couldn't. So I stayed quiet. I nodded. I let him believe I was the anchor he needed, not the tide dragging him under. For the next week, Ethan clung to me in ways he never had before. We sat together at lunch, even when his friends teased him for trading the spotlight for my silence. He texted me good morning before practice and good night after homework. Once, he showed up at my house at midnight, claiming he needed a place to think. He sat on my bed, his knees pulled up, his laughter softer than I'd ever heard. And I let myself believe that maybe I was more than the cruel voice behind a screen. Believe that maybe the boy who could have anyone wanted me. But the internet never lets you bury your sins. The night before homecoming, Ethan found out. I don't know how. Maybe someone recognized my phrasing. Maybe he pieced together the timing. Maybe fate was crueler than I imagined. All I know is he showed up outside the gym, his face pale, his fists shaking, holding a printout of my posts. My words. My venom. Tell me it's not you, he demanded, his voice breaking. And for the first time, I had no words left to hide behind. It's me, I whispered. His face twisted hurt, betrayal, disbelief. You? All this time, I wanted to reach for him, to explain that it started as a joke, that it turned into something I couldn't control, that somewhere along the line I stopped mocking him and started loving him. But excuses are useless when the knife is already in someone's chest. Why? His voice cracked like glass. Because you were untouchable. Because you were everything I hated and everything I wanted. Because I was too much of a coward to tell you I cared. I don't know, I said instead. He laughed bitterly, a sound I'd never heard from him before. You were the only one I trusted, the only one I thought saw me, and all this time you were just laughing at me. His words cut deeper than anything I'd written. I tried to follow him, but he walked away, shoulders stiff, his figure disappearing into the crowd, and I knew I'd lost him. The next few days were hell. He stopped coming to lunch. He blocked my number. He walked past me in the hall as if I were a stranger. The posts I had written hung in the air like smoke, choking me. I deleted the account, but the damage was permanent. Homecoming came, and Ethan played like a ghost of himself. No smiles, no fire, just movements on autopilot. When the team won, everyone cheered, but Ethan barely lifted the trophy. Couldn't stand it. That night, I went to his house. His mom opened the door, surprise flickering across her face, but she let me in. I found him in his room, the lights off, the glow of his phone casting shadows on his tired face. What do you want? He asked flatly, not looking at me. The truth, I said, my voice shaking. Not the one I hid behind, not the one I typed. The real one. He scoffed. You think words will fix this? You already used words to destroy me. I know, I admitted, stepping closer. I hated you, or maybe I hated how perfect you seemed. Writing those posts, it was the only way I thought I could matter. But then you let me in. You let me see you. And suddenly, I wasn't laughing anymore. I was falling. He turned then, his eyes wet and furious. Falling? Into what? Betrayal? Humiliation? Into you, I said simply. The silence stretched, heavy and raw. Finally, Ethan whispered, "Do you even understand what you did to me?" How small I felt reading those words, not knowing they came from the one person I thought I could trust. Tears blurred my vision. I understand, and I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm not here asking for it. I'm here to tell you that every word I wrote was a lie except the ones I never posted, the ones I kept to myself. The ones about how your laugh makes everything quieter, how your eyes look like they're hiding whole worlds, how being near you feels like finally breathing. His jaw clenched. You think saying that fixes it? No, I said. I think saying that's the only way you'll ever know I'm sorry. For a long time he stared at me, and in his eyes, I saw the war anger against something softer, hurt against something wanting. Then, slowly, he said, I don't know if I can forgive you, but I don't want to hate you either. Hope flickered, fragile and trembling. Then don't, I whispered. He shook his head, running a hand through his hair. You make everything so damn complicated. I gave a small, broken smile. That's me. For the first time in days, his lips curved not a full smile, but something close. Something human. We didn't fix everything that night. We didn't kiss or make promises. But he let me stay. We sat on the floor of his room, side by side, saying nothing, the silence less heavy than before. And in that fragile space, something began to heal. Weeks passed. It wasn't easy. Trust doesn't grow back overnight. But slowly, Ethan let me back in piece by cautious piece. We walked home together, we studied in the library, we laughed again, though sometimes it hurt. The day he finally forgave me came unexpectedly. We were sitting in the bleachers after practice, the field empty, the sky painted in shades of dusk. Ethan leaned back, sighing, and said, You know, you're still the only person I can breathe around. I looked at him, my chest tight. Even after everything? He nodded. Especially after everything. This time I didn't hold back. I leaned in, slow, giving him every chance to pull away. He didn't. Our lips met soft, tentative, like testing the edges of something fragile but real. And for the first time, I didn't feel like a liar. I felt like someone who had broken, and been broken, and somehow, against all odds, was still allowed to love. We pulled apart, breathless, and Ethan gave me a smile, not the plastic one. Not the golden boy one, but the real one. The one just for me. Don't ever hide from me again, he said. I won't, I promised. And in that moment, under the fading American sky, with the world finally quiet around us, I believed it. Because maybe love isn't about being perfect. Maybe it's about being seen flaws, mistakes, cruelty, and all and still being chosen. And somehow, after everything, Ethan chose me. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.